Hi Scorpio, welcome to your reading for January 24th, 2024. I think it's the Leo full moon, this week, the first full moon of the year. So, sorry, I'm not an astrologer, I don't know fully, but I do know that the full moon is part of our manifestations, so look back to whatever you manifested on the new moon. There's a reading for that here, and you can kind of look back and see what was going on for you. I don't have my mic today. I forgot to charge it, so the volume is what it is, and I apologize if it's not working for you. It's not all the time. Anyway, if you want a free reading on 2/22, you can enter to win that by putting free reading in the comments, and otherwise we're going to get started. Let's go. All right. So, energies for today, I'm recording at a different time, like during the day, which changes the energies quite a lot, I think. We've had the Pluto transit into, or enter into Aquarius. It'll retrograde back into Capricorn, and then it'll stay in Aquarius. I don't know all the dates for that, but I think I've definitely felt the shift just as like a Plutonian Scorpio. So I think that we'll look at like these new energies for you, and check that out. What are these new Pluto and Aquarius energies for my Scorpios? And what can this full moon bring illumination to? Leo is like a flashy, in the limelight kind of sign. So we'll look at that too. Queen of Swords. All right, right off the bat. That's in your past. And she did come out a lot in the past. Recent past. Something you weren't expecting. A wild card. Current energies. Nine of Pentacles. Gain. That's awesome. Going forward, Knight of Discs. Maybe not as quickly as you would like, but just enjoy being in this Nine of Pentacles energy. You might actually even like want to take things slow to just kind of settle in here, Scorpio, with like Pluto having moved out of our sign. I feel like we're finally like kind of able to soak it in, you know? So I actually really like the placement of this Knight of Discs here, like just kind of teaching us to be good in our own energy and feel happy there, and like, you know, kind of come out of that like long period of heavy shadow work that we may have been doing. Outcome, the Devil. What? Okay, so that's interesting. The Devil in the outcome can indicate, I think here, like mastery of your devil, essentially. Like whatever your plague is, that's an interesting thing to say, is like, it's like you encountering mastery. I'm looking at the Markor on here. So the goat with the horns is actually, it's a Palestinian symbol of freedom. And it's also like on the flag of their information network, like their version of the CIA, but it's known as the snake eater in English, this Markor, the snake eating goat. And it like, I don't know if it, I think it's like known to eat venomous snakes in the region, in the region of Palestine, and I think also Afghanistan, just that Middle Eastern area. So it talks about being able to like conquer the snakes, like the multiple maybe like illusions that could turn you to stone, or like I'm thinking of Medusa here, but we'll get more into it. We'll clarify. I actually really like the energy of this reading, and it's definitely new energy, so that's what we asked for. Let's clarify this Queen of Swords in your past. Prince of Swords. Okay, so you were definitely cutting out any illusions, any masks, any like ego identities that were weighing you down or pulling you in directions that you weren't really like either finding logical or finding rewarding. It's like you took the necessary steps from a heart-centered space. You sort of willed your chariot in the direction it needed to go by like cutting out these sort of, I wouldn't call them failed egos, but more like, it's more like you went through the doorways of your like various archetypal consciousnesses and then closed those doorways behind you after learning the lessons. So whatever doorway you're on now is bringing more stability, more earthy energy, and less like airy, harsh even energy. You're not cutting out the old, you're more like sitting in an energy of like being able to accumulate now in a good space as well. This wild card, Mars and Aries, the Two of Wands reversed. So the Two of Wands came up in I think the last reading I did for you quite a lot. There was a lot of like mirroring energies there. And the Two of Wands was there, and the Queen of Pentacles multiple times. So you might want to check out the last reading to maybe get some clarity for this Two of Wands reversed. But Dominion reversed with a wild card could mean that like something you thought you had the hang of, or something you thought you were doing good with or like enjoying, you suddenly are not. Or you're suddenly, there's something thrown into the mix that makes you realize like I need to learn something else or accumulate something else or like take another class in order to gain dominion, in order to walk through this doorway. And so maybe there was something you weren't seeing about how you could like better manage your current circumstances, but I'm seeing that this is like a good thing for your stabilization. Like if you're kind of like a jack of all trades, or like maybe you've been in your job for a long time, this is standing out as career because of the stability maybe, but this is like you realizing that there's just something that you never thought to do or never knew to do because you've been doing things like the old school way or whatever that means, and you've suddenly found that you can like, for example, instead of like writing out a text or an email, you can use your voice to mic thing, and it saves you time. It's just something that saves you time, or like is like you're grateful for this change in your regular day-to-day or your circumstances, but it's taking some adjustment for you to sort of figure it out. It's made you feel a little bit like, oh, like I don't have dominion right now over my circumstances, like in a very literal way. Also, these are weapons, like spiritual weapons. And so you may have found like in your recent past that the sort of spiritual weapon you're equipped with is mirroring is coming up, because it came up in your last reading. It's something about, it's not actually like an aggressive stinger the way Scorpions have, right? It's something more like maybe holding space or holding energy, and people like bouncing that off of you and like kind of seeing their own projections. The projections are standing out here with this Prince of Swords also. So it might also be that you realize like you're able to hold space in a way that like mirrors projections and offers people an opportunity to cut free of their projections if they are conscious enough to recognize it. That's not our business really, like as individuals, to show other people their projections, right? Or to like say those things out loud. Although as a Queen of Swords, you may have been doing that for a while, and you may have learned like you don't need to, because the people who are ready to do that will, and that other people may serve as that for you. Maybe you, in that case, like found a person who does this for you and realized like, oh, this is what I've been doing the whole time to other people around me, like talking out loud about their projections when they're not ready or whatever, and then like finding their you know, like that Scorpio stinger has been coming out in ways that you haven't realized. And this is you like kind of encountering some version of that in someone else. Yeah, interesting. Truce. Oh, yeah, so we have the swords back here, the 2 wands here, like adding a little fire to the mix, right? And then Jupiter and Libra, the 4 of Swords, truce here underneath the 9 of Pentacles. So you've found some means of rest or peace, yeah, in your security, in your stability, with the 9 of Pentacles here. I want to read the 9 of Pentacles from the Thoth Tarot. It's been a little while since I've used this deck, although I have a tendency to favor it in general. I think it's really informative, especially for like just various occult symbolism. It's very comprehensive. 9 of Discs. Gain, Venus and Virgo. Yesod is the name of the Sephiroth that it's in on the Tree of Life. 6 discs stamped with the pictures of the deities of the planets formed 2 equilateral triangles, and the remaining 3 are interlaced in the middle. These with their beams of light show a condition in which chance and management give an increasing good fortune. Yeah, so increasing good fortune slowly but steadily. And the 9 here indicates that this is the ending of some sort of spiritual lesson for you regarding your own personal stability and enjoyment there. So rest, gain, slow and steady forward motion. I just think that it's so typical of a Scorpio reading for the devil to be at the end of a spread like this. Like, here's your... Oh, and the Hermit. Okay, so 999 might be standing out as like a synchronicity or an angel number for you here. The Hermit underneath the Knight of Pentacles with your forward motion and gain could potentially indicate just a need for being in hermit mode still. Also, you have 2 Virgo cards here. Virgos come up a lot in your readings recently, so maybe something is accumulating from Virgo season, like when you started it, or you'll see the results of this by Virgo season of this year. You may also have a significant Virgo in your life that's helping you to bring fruition to like your wishes. And there's the cosmic egg here with the snake. You might be birthing something new that's going to bring up like a new devil for you in the future as well. You can look at where Virgo is in your own personal chart to see what this lesson is that's helping to develop in your life. I like to use cafe astrology for my natal chart. Let's see here. And the devil. Clarify the devil spirit. Protect this reading. Send any negative energy back to sender tenfold and transmuted for the greatest good of all. Thank you. Princess of Wands reversed. So you've decided what it is that you want to create. This is you not giving your energy away to things, ego identities, pursuits in any way, shape, or form. This is you learning how to hold your boundaries. It's also you like knowing when to unleash the tiger and when to tame it. And also like kind of, I think, like, so taming the tiger in yoga, right? It talks about like getting on the mat and sort of working through your subconscious stuff. So this can be you like kind of understanding when something subconscious is coming up for you, like maybe now is not the time to work through it, or maybe now is not the time to hermit mode, you know, or maybe there's a gentler way, maybe there's a different approach. And that could be what this wild card is too. Maybe you learned something about taming your tiger that doesn't involve being this stingy Queen of Swords, Prince of Swords, rah person. Taming your tiger here with the truce card at the center of the reading. Let's clarify with the light seers. Yeah. Why not? That sounds right. 1429. Excuse me for my sniffles. I'm still like got a little cold. It just kind of wiped me out for a few days and coming back to normal now. What is this devil with the Princess of Wands for Scorpio, please, Spirit? Okay. 5 of Cups, what? This is about you also, like, really mastering where you put your emotions. I think you may find that your way of, like, holding on to what's wronged you in the past, or like kind of where you've wasted your emotional energy, it may have a tendency to creep up in a way that like gives you self-guilt, because this is a Scorpio ruled card, right? Like you may feel sometimes the penchant to like wonder, why did I do that? Or I could have done better, or like I went through this and it was like it was so hard. And there's nothing wrong with that sometimes, right? But there's, I don't know, there's something standing out to me about this. It's like you almost don't, like you don't know you're doing it. It's like it's a cup card, but it's coming up for me as like a thought, like pattern because of these swords. Let's read the 5 of Cups. Says, my tender heart helps me navigate toward my bright future. Grieving, disillusion, disappointment, betrayal, bitterness, wallowing, self-pity, and can signify a broken heart. So it could just be like you're slowly moving forward in your own stable energy, and you find that like the more distance between you and your past you find, like you gain, the greater the chasm between your happiness and like what it was you experienced becomes. And so there's like that double-edged sword of like the more happiness you feel, the greater the potential for loss. And like your devil might be to self-sabotage when you fear that the loss will be too great. Like you might have experienced trauma, you know, or instability or something that is, it makes you kind of wonder when the other shoe will drop. And this is you conquering that thought pattern, that like, that expectation, essentially. I think this is you facing your 5 of Cups and realizing how it's like sort of gotten in the way before of you just riding that tiger into your happiness. This Princess of Wands is holding a sun, like a scepter on a sun, and riding this tiger on like this wave of fire. It's like you've watered down your fire, being a Scorpio water sign, fixed water sign. Knight of Discs, the Hermit, 2 of Swords. Okay, so you may be taking a while to go forward or to move forward because you have a lot of options and you can't really decide like which way to go. You may also feel like you have no options, but in this card she can, you know, take the blindfold off. She even has her hand on the blindfold. She is also listening to the messages of these birds, and what's standing out to me is that you need to follow your inner guidance, which is why the Hermit is underneath here. We'll read the affirmation for the 2 of Swords, though. When blinded by the unknown, I can trust myself to move toward the light. Yeah, that's like sort of the Hermit also. Like, the Hermit holds his own light. It's the inner light. So if you're not moving towards the light, move towards what lights you up. You know what I mean? And protect your energy. Going forward, because you're in a really good space right now, solid ground. The Star. I don't know what happened for you, Scorpio, but you've reached some space of wish fulfillment here. Yeah, it could be dealing with a Virgo, Capricorn, Scorpio, an Aquarius, heavy air sign back here and in the middle, and then Earth in the front. So something about like bringing it down to earth here. Yeah, something may have happened that just kind of blew your mind a little bit, which is great. That's where you're at, and you're being encouraged to like revel in that a little bit before trying to make a decision to move forward in any direction. I expect miracles. Also, the longer you stay in this energy of like, I expect miracles, I'm in abundance, I'm resting, I'm at peace, the more of that you're manifesting in for yourself. And you may find that this devil comes up as a result of embodying this energy. Again, with manifestation, when we go to manifest something, the things that are in the way of that energetically will come up for us to resolve, so they're no longer in the way. However, whatever we perceive to be in the way, or subconsciously perceive to be in the way. So what you perceive to be in the way subconsciously right now is just this sort of tendency to give your emotional energy to the past, to places where the emotional energy just like drains. It's like you're not transmuting your emotional, like your sadness, into creative works. Like that can be something that you do as well, or are called to do sometimes. And you may find on occasion that instead of like making something creative, or like, you know, bringing some inner fire to that emotional disappointment, instead you just kind of like get sucked in. So I think this is you learning the discernment of like how to, I'm seeing the way that this emotional energy drains downward, and then the way that this fiery energy on the Princess of Wands is spiraling out, almost as if like once you drain that energy down all the way, it spirals out into this creative fire. Like you're figuring out that process of transmutation and like kind of nipping it in the bud, learning like this Markor, this goat, to eat your snakes, or to like, yeah, catch those venomous snakes. The wild card is what I'm so curious about. This one just came out kind of sideways. 3 of Cups sideways. Okay. So there's something that came up recently for you about how you relate to others, the Trinity or your community, that I think maybe toppled your view of what it, either what it is to be in community, what it is to like contribute to a community, or like what your role is in a community, or like, yeah, with the purple all over this card, I'm seeing like how you envision your community has changed. You have a different understanding of what it is, or who it is you want to be around. And it's somehow made you realize that you're in your wish fulfillment. That came up a couple times in your, I think some of your readings last week. So yeah, you might want to look back on the last few readings if this is resonating with you, and check that out. Judgment reversed. Releasing yourself from judgment, or like wrong, seeing something like not clearly. Huh. So your judgment reversed. This, okay. This is you like with your Queen of Swords, Prince of Swords energy, like cutting stuff out of your life in the past. And you may find that like with judgment reversed, this has taught you that there's a different way to approach this Scorpio stinger like tendency, which is really awesome. That's a really good thing to learn. And it makes sense that it's kind of coming through at this like transition from Pluto into Aquarius, and around the full moon in Leo, like things being brought up to the light, like that reputation for the Scorpio to like have that stinger and live in the depths and like don't mess with them, you know, is kind of softening in this Aquarius. This Aquarius is at the center of the reading. Aquarius, Pluto and Aquarius. Anyway, 20 card 20, sorry. Judgment. Self-doubt, hiding behind many masks, a need to let go of a shadow aspect of your story, denying yourself and your loved ones the experience of your true nature or essence. Hello, essence. I invite you to show up every day. I invite my soul to shine unapologetically. Oh, interesting. So masking might be something that you've struggled with in the past. I mean, many of us do, right? In different ways. I had 2, 4, 3, 6 on the timer just then. That's interesting. I don't know why that might stand out to somebody. You may have found that you were cutting things out as a way to try and like curate your essence. And maybe you like got to that. Maybe you like got to the bottom of that. And now you're finding like, okay, it's time to just kind of add things on now. Like if you, again, that happened at the beginning of this reading. We talked about you did all the shadow work, and now it's kind of time to like relax and be grounded in your energy as you are. So that's what this is. This is you like, okay, I've done my shadow work. This is my essence. This is me. I'm here. This is your individuation process, like completed, moving on, moving forward. And that means right now just kind of chilling in your own energy, like really enjoying being an earthy, grounded Scorpio. You have time before you reach this sort of like devil energy coming up for you. And I don't feel like it's a bad thing. I feel like it's something that you're going to be like able to manage, because it's like you've already been through all the archetypes, right? All the tarot. It's like you've already done your fool's journey to the world, and you're restarting, and you kind of know from this individuated position what to expect from yourself and from the world around you when you do encounter this Five of Cups, sort of looking back and letting things drain you. I want to do one more clarification for the, like, kind of the key to this transmutation of this emotional, draining, disappointment, heartbroken energy into like this Princess of Wands fire. I don't feel like using the light seers. That's weird. I'm gonna pull one from here. Okay. Oh, the Queen of Pentacles is on the bottom. She's come up in your readings quite a lot. So that might be it. The Queen of Pentacles is right on the bottom. I wanted to shuffle to be sure that there's like some good energy in these cards, like not left over from the last reading. I usually cleanse my deck, but it's been a weird few days. I don't even remember if I did or not. But okay. Ace of Pentacles. Okay, then. Well, that's clarification right there. It's like you found that nurturing yourself in the 3D might actually really help you with that energy. So like you might find that your emotional drain is more pronounced. For instance, when you haven't slept well, or when you haven't eaten well, or you might be more susceptible to disappointment or heartbroken emotions from the past if you just aren't tending to your vessel, your avatar, you know. So your key to creativity, or your advice going forward, is to I think to view yourself, this is an interesting read for this, is to view yourself like as this, like your own body, your own presence here on the earth, as this 5-pointed star, like the Vesuvian Man, is that the name of it? The Da Vinci drawing? It's like you standing here in this gold coin, like you are the one you need to sort of feed in order to like multiply your pentacles to come to fruition. We'll read this Ace of Pentacles, even though I think I've had to read it for you guys like many times since I started using this deck. It's like a favorite card that likes to come out, which is not a bad thing. It's really a beautiful thing. It's like a major gift. Wisdom, protection, authority, awareness, and guidance. This is also you following your inner guidance, particularly by I think really just caring for your body and its connection to the earth and spirit. It's like the grounding energy for that spiritual wisdom. You are planting the seeds today for long-term goals that will blossom over time. Oh, that's like a really good reminder too, when you're stuck in this 5 of Cups energy, like what you're what you're planting right now is more of this, so be aware. But I think you guys already know that. Listen to your intuition, as it will be a guiding force and will move you in the right direction. The Ace of Pentacles serves as a reminder that small, purposeful actions taken today will blossom into something fruitful in the future. Have patience. It takes time for seeds to sprout. You are in the beginning phases of a transformation process, and it will be a process and not some overnight windfall. But stay focused on the goal, and it will bear fruit. When the Ace of Pentacles appears, I get all a flutter inside because I know that the possibilities are out there, that there is potential to bring something marvelous into this world. All I have to do is put in the work. It's an incredible feeling knowing that you have the power to create something, to bring something you desire into fruition. Use that energy you get when you hold this card to come up with practical steps to lead you down the path to creating success. The powerful and intuitive owl will help you see the opportunities that may have gone unnoticed or underappreciated. Use this energy to create light within a situation that will lead to seeing the whole picture and seeing not only what is present now, but also what will be available to you in the future. So as obvious as it may sound, Scorpio, yeah, planting seeds for the future is your sort of cure to that snaky devil that is your just scorpionic like habit of sort of dwelling, right? And Scorpios, we dwell. I mean, scorpions as a an insect, right? They're so cool, and they do go through phases where they have to have a lot of water and withdraw and let their shells soften, their exoskeletons soften, and then shed their exoskeletons. And that's like that's a softening, receptive process where like emotions are shed. And so I think that's part of why this Five of Cups is ruled by Scorpio, is like that's the energy of this Five of Cups. It's just I'm looking at it, I'm shedding it, I'm letting it go. And that also recognizing that and honoring that as a necessary step in the process of this forward movement is really important, to not resisting it and therefore not like attracting more of it as well into your life. Yeah, and then one last thing that's standing out to me that I've sort of mentioned already is just really recognizing yourself as that conduit for divine energy, and that happens through inspiration and through our ability to create something here in the world, and just like remembering that that's like really truly magical is your advice. That's the end of this reading, I think. I'm gonna leave it there, Scorpios. If you resonated with this, please do like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you to all of those of you who have already. If you, again, want to enter to win that free reading, go ahead and put free reading in the comments. It'll be announced in a separate post on 2/22. And then if you want to book a personal with me, you can do that on my Etsy. It's linked in the description box below. I usually get back within like 48 to 72 hours, but if I don't have any bookings, I can definitely do it within a day. Or if you need it like expedited, you can let me know. Anything else? You can join my Patreon for readings with tarot decks that I can't really feature on YouTube, including that Surrealist tarot deck, which there is one reading here on YouTube that kind of displays it. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. All right, bye.